Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As you probably know, the Speaker of the House of the Representatives of the US Congress, Nancy Pelosi, she's a Democrat from California and she would like to visit Taiwan. And there are some problems with that visit since the Chinese government made some statements and some threats that if Miss Pelosi comes closer, their military will not stay idle. Now, I've never heard the Chinese government making such a concrete and direct, put it this way, statements and threats. And the thing is, once you do something like this, I wonder if you can follow through with all that, because otherwise you're gonna look very bad and very weak. If you say, okay, if you come here, I'm gonna flicker your nose. Well, and you come over here and I don't do that, anything I say is not gonna suffice. It's not gonna be enough as an argument, justification, or whatever. So let's see what's going on here, because Miss Representative Pelosi, Speaker of the House, thinks that she's gonna go there, which I kind of doubt, but let's see. This article comes from USA Today, and it's from today, August 1st, 2022. And it's a report. Actually, it reports House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to visit Taiwan, defying Chinese threats. All right, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will visit Taiwan in the coming days, according to multiple media reports, defying threats of Chinese retaliation to make the first such high-level visit in 25 years. Isn't she courageous? Wait until that occurs. Now here, the thing is very bad, because if Nancy backs down, she's gonna look bad. If China doesn't follow through with what I would expect them to do, based on their threats and statements, then they're gonna show weakness. So CNN and the Wall Street Journal reported that Pelosi will go ahead with a controversial trip, although the precise timing remains unclear. Pelosi's office declined to comment on those reports Monday. Some in Washington had expressed concern that a visit by the sitting U.S. House Speaker would provoke China into attacking the self-governed island. China views Taiwan as part of its territory, while Taiwan sees itself as a sovereign country. The U.S. has long embraced a murky middle ground that seeks to support Taiwan without infuriating Beijing. President Joe Biden has muddied the issue by saying that the United States would come to Taiwan's defense militarily if China invades and tries to take over the self-ruled island by force. Now, Biden should not be taken seriously, and then the White House came and they needed like a few days to say, no, that's not what he said. That's what you heard, but it's not what he meant. Let me tell you what he meant. Pelosi's anticipated trip comes in spite of harsh warning from China of unspecified consequences for visiting Taiwan, and as tensions escalate between the US and China. Well, they said something about military. I'm going to go and say that forever, because that's what they said. So for me, I don't know what to say, but why did you use the term military over there? Chinese officials issued fresh warnings about the visit on Monday. Today, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying warned in a tweet Monday that, and I'm quoting, the US government must honor its commitments in both word and in deed. Forget about it. What are you talking about? That bird flew away a long time ago. Otherwise, the US government must take responsibility and bear consequences for any act, end quote, the Chinese sees as violation of its agreements with the US. All right. Earlier Monday, Chinese official Zhao Liang said the Chinese military now is that, will, and I'm quoting, not sit idly by. So it's not sit idly by if Pelosi visits Taiwan. According to Reuters, Chinese President Xi Jinping delivered a stark warning directly to Biden, who was asleep, over the issue during a lengthy July 28 phone call between the two leaders. It might have been lengthy for Xi Jinping, but not for Biden. Oh my, that's sad. And I'm quoting, "Those who play with fire will perish by it," end quote, the Chinese leader said, according to Beijing's official account of the conversation. And I'm quoting, "It is hoped that the U.S. will be clear-eyed about this. The U.S. should honor the one China principle," end quote, the Chinese government statement said. The call between the two leaders came after warning from China's foreign ministry spokesman Zhao Lijiang that a visit from Pelosi would challenge China's red line and be met with resolute countermeasures. All right, I heard the military. You know what? I keep coming with that because you know, you can talk is cheap. What are you gonna do? You're gonna send who, where, you know? And I'm quoting again. Oh, the U.S. officials have called such comments escalatory. Yeah, they are. And I'm quoting, "Frankly, that kind of rhetoric is unnecessary and unhelpful," said John Kirby, a weasel, the National Security Council coordinator for strategic communication at the White House, said last week. "Rhetoric," I'm quoting, "rhetoric of that kind of only escalates tensions in a completely unnecessary manner." Whoa, maybe unnecessary for you, and maybe, you know, it's escalates tension in a completely unnecessary manner and helpful. I think it's helpful for the Chinese and a very necessary manner for the Chinese. Maybe for you it's not, because you don't put yourself in the other person's shoes and see how it is. On Monday, Kirby stressed that the trip by Pelosi would not mark any change in U.S. policy, pointing to past visits by members of Congress, including this year. Well, maybe they don't want it anymore. They don't want to know more. What they're going to do about it? Cry? And I'm quoting, "Nothing about this potential visit would change the status quo, and the world should reject any Chinese effort to use it to do so." You know, it's the small steps. Now it's Pelosi, and then is this, and then is this, and the Chinese should not even get bothered. You just stay over there, sit tight, don't say anything until we do what we have to do, and then when it's too late, we're going to say, nothing to see here, we don't care. So these guys, you know, if you have, as I said, 3 minutes memory span or attention span, then yeah, you don't remember what happened before with other examples. So we have repeatedly said that we oppose any unilateral changes to the status quo from either side. Nobody believes you. That's the problem. That's the problem, because nobody believes you. You can say now whatever you want to say. Look how that escalated with, for instance, with Saddam. They let you check his butt for weapons of mass destruction. He agreed to come and see his palaces. You checked under his bed. You checked under his nails. Everywhere. And then what happened with the guy? Got hanged. Well, you want Gaddafi? He agreed Gaddafi with all the sanctions. He stopped his program with the nuclear weapons. Then he said, okay, no problem, no-fly zone. We agree with no-fly zone. That means my army cannot defend me, but your army could go and fly over there. Your army, NATO. So, and then how did he end up? You saw how that guy ended up. So do you think that you want then, what's his name, Slobodan Milosevic of Serbia? You want to talk about that guy? The same, promises and promises, then no and no, and then what? Bombing after bombing, bombing of his house, of his houses, right? But presidential palace, or however you want to call it. Is that a military target? So no, I don't think the Chinese, and China has kind of a long history, so they are very wise, and I don't think they will just let the United States, just do something fast here. Well, I hardly can wait, and I hope Pelosi jumps on that plane, which I don't think she will. She's going to talk tough. This is how I see it, in a proportion of 90%. Pelosi will talk tough. She's going to be very courageous, holding her protesters in her mouth, you know, and her teeth, and I'm going, okay, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and when the time comes, Pelosi is not going to be seen anywhere. That's how I foresee all this playing, in a proportion of 90%. But she's going to be tough until she's going to be in a plane going in that tour in Asia, East Asia, and she's going to avoid Taiwan. That's what I think. We'll see. And the Chinese, if Pelosi, we have the 10%, will go over there, and the Chinese doesn't do anything, you know, like a few jets coming around and doing all kind of things that divert the plane away, or go in front of it, release some debris like they did with, allegedly, with that Australian plane, then China, don't ever talk tough. All right, I will do like this whenever you talk, and I keep my eyes open so we see your actions, but this, no, we'll see. Get your popcorn. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.